sound check, sound check. Okay. So, finally, good morning everyone. So, before we start, let us seek first the guidance and wisdom of our Almighty Father through a prayer to be led by Miss Mia Para. So, let us all be seated. So, before I proceed, may I request the Secretariat to please do a roll call of attendance and to determine if we have a quorum amongst the members of the Bids and Awards Committee. Ms. Para, please.
Good morning po. Please raise your hand to be recognized for the attendance. Engineer Richard Dean Santos, back chairperson. Engineer Divina Javier, back vice chairperson. Ms. Gemaline Rose Garcia, regular member. Mr. Edwin Jomawas, provisional member. Engineer Asistiel Broas, provisional member and user. Engineer Joseph Balba, back TWG head. Engineer Edmond Ernie, back secretariat head. Engineer Jerome Ambagan, back TWG member. Engineer Catherine May Almario, back secretariat member. Ms. Caroline Manzanero, back secretariat member, and Mr. Joshua Philip Baybay, back secretariat member. Would also like to recognize our observers, Mr. Ricardo Ortiz from CCWI and Mr. Matt Basilan, Senior Citizens Party List Representative. We also have one of our contractors, Ma'am Geneva Fusho from Protec Construction and Development Corporation. With the presence of the aforementioned individual, we have a quorum, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Para. So, the date today is July 23, 2026, and the time now is currently 10:37 in the morning. So, since we have a quorum amongst the members of the BAC of DPWH Cavite 2nd District Engineering Office, as acknowledged by our BAC Secretariat, I now call this meeting of the Bids and Awards Committee of DPWH Cavite 2nd District Engineering Office to order. So, again, before I proceed, I would like to acknowledge, of course, the presence of the members of the BAC, the members of the Secretariat, the members of the TWG, the members of our, the representatives from the contractors, to the prospective bidders, and to all our observers, and to everyone else present today, and to anyone who may be watching online. Again, good morning to everyone. So our agenda for today is the opening of bids for civil works projects. For today, we have three. The first is contract ID 26DG0032 with the name Basic Infrastructure Program BIP, Multipurpose Buildings Facilities to Support Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building, Senior Citizen Center, Daycare Center at Barangay Caymisas, General Emilio Aguinaldo, Cavite, with an approved budget for the contract or ABC of 9,899,728 pesos and 72 centavos. Second project is contract ID number 26DG0033 with the name Asset Preservation Program, Construction, Upgrading, Rehabilitation of Drainage along National Roads, Secondary Roads, Tagaytay, Batangas via Tuy Road, kilometer 64 plus 480 to kilometer 65 plus 155 with an ABC of 18,835,513 and 62 centavos. And the third project, contract ID 26DG0034 with the name Asset Preservation Program, Construction, Upgrading, Rehabilitation of Drainage along National Roads, Secondary Roads, Mahogany Avenue, kilometer 59 plus negative 656 to kilometer 59 plus negative 261 with an ABC of 16,339,912 pesos and 08 centavos. So to ensure a smooth process, we will follow the non-discretionary pass or fail criteria. We will first open envelope 1, which contains the eligibility and technical documents, the financial proposals of those who pass the technical requirements and eligibility processing through civil works application, will then be open to evaluate their completeness. So please take note that these are only preliminary examination of the submitted bids. The documents will still undergo detailed evaluation and post-qualification by the Technical Working Group or the TWG to determine their authenticity and compliance. So with that, we will now proceed with the opening of bids for the first contract ID number 26DG0032. So may I now request the TWG and the or the Secretariat to present the envelopes in the order they were received. Also, I would like to announce upon verification, we have submit 0 electronic bids on our receipt portal. Again, we have received 0 electronic bids from our portal. Thank you. Six DG0032, we have received a total of three bids. First is from RV Rieta Trading and General Construction. Second is from Protec Construction and Development Corporation. And third is from ZLMA Construction. So upon checking of the submitted bids, all bids are found to be in order and properly sealed. So with that, may I request the Secretary to please proceed with the opening and the presentation of the envelope 1. Again, may I remind everyone that these are only preliminary examination of the submitted bids. All bids submitted will still undergo a detailed bid evaluation and post-qualification by our technical working group. Thank you. Sound check. So we now have the results of the preliminary examination of the technical components or envelope number 1 for contract ID of the submitted bids for contract ID 26DG0032. So upon checking, RV Rieta Trading and General Construction passed. Protec Construction and Development Corporation passed. And ZLMA Construction also passed. So we will now proceed with the eligibility processing of the bidders who passed through civil works application. So now, may I request the Secretariat to please present the submitted bids for contract ID 26DG0033. So for contract ID 26DG0033, we have received a total of 2 bids. First from SDWC Construction and second from PGM Construction and Plumbing Services. So upon verification, the submitted bids are found to be in order and properly sealed. So may I now request the Secretariat to please proceed with the opening and the presentation of the technical components of the bid or envelope number 1. Also, may I request the Secretariat to please present the submitted bids for contract ID 26DG0034. So for contract ID 26DG0034, we have received a total of 2 bids. First from NB Avila Construction and Trading Corporation and second from Houseland Construction. So upon checking, the submitted bids are found to be in order and properly sealed. So may I now request the Secretariat to please proceed with the opening and the presentation of the envelope number 1 or the technical components of the submitted bids. Sound check. So good morning again, everyone. So I now have the results of the preliminary examination of the technical components for envelope number 1 of the submitted bids. So first for 26DG0033, so for SDWC Construction, pass, and for PGM Construction and Plumbing Services, also pass. So we will now proceed with the eligibility processing of these bidders through civil works application. Also, for contract ID 26DG0034, for the submitted bid of NV Avila Construction and Trading Corporation, pass, and for Houseland Construction, also pass. So likewise, we will now proceed with the eligibility processing through civil works application. Thank you. Sound check. So I now have the results of the eligibility processing using civil works application. So first for contract ID 26DG0032. So for Protec Construction and Development Corporation, passed. For ZLMA Construction, passed. And for RV Rieta Trading and Construction, also passed. So may I now request the Secretariat to please proceed with the opening of the envelope number 2 or the financial components of the bids for contract ID 26DG0032. Sound check, sound check. So, we now have the results of the preliminary examination of the financial components of the submitted bids for contract ID 26DG0032. So, may I now request the Secretariat to please read the results of the preliminary examination and the corresponding bid amounts. Ms. Para, please.
For 26DG0032, all bidders passed in the preliminary examination of the financial component of the bid. First bidder, Protec Construction pangit na sulat, and Development Corporation. Total amount of bid, 9,849,343 pesos and 22 centavos. 9,849,343.22. Bid security submitted, bid security declaration, validity period 120 calendar days. Next bidder, ZLMA Construction. Total amount of bid, 9,825,688 pesos and 13 centavos. 9,825,688.13. Bid security submitted, bid security declaration, validity period 120 calendar days. Third bidder, RV Rieta Trading and General Construction. Total amount of bid, 9,798,043 pesos and 68 centavos. 9,798,043.68. Bid security submitted, bid security declaration, validity period 120 calendar days.
So again, for contract ID 26DG0032, the lowest submitted bid is from RV Rieta Trading and General Construction with a submitted bid amount of 9,798,043 pesos and 68 centavos. Again, that is from RV Rieta Trading and General Construction with a submitted bid amount of 9,798,043 pesos and 68 centavos. So again, may I remind everyone that all bids submitted will still undergo a detailed bid evaluation and post-qualification by our technical working group. Thank you. Sound check, sound check, sound check, sound check. So I now have the results for the eligibility processing for contract ID 26DG0033. So upon checking, SDWC Construction pass and PGM Construction and Plumbing Services also pass. So may I now request the Secretariat to please proceed with the presentation of the envelope number 2 or with the financial components of the bid for the preliminary examination. Now have also the results for the eligibility processing using civil works application for contract ID 26DG0034. So upon checking, Houseland Construction pass and NB Avila Construction and Trading Corporation also pass. So may I now also request the Secretariat to please proceed with the presentation of the envelope number 2 or the financial component of the submitted bids for their preliminary examination. Results of the preliminary, we now have the results of the preliminary examination of the submitted bids for for the financial component of the bid for contract ID 26DG0034. So may I now request the Secretariat to please announce the results and to read the corresponding bid amounts. 333, sorry. 26DG0033.
For 26DG0033, both bidders passed in the preliminary examination of the financial component of the bid. First bidder, SDWC Construction. Total amount of bid, 18,456,711 pesos and 49 centavos. 18456,711.49. Bid security submitted, bid security declaration, validity period 120 calendar days. Next bidder, PJM Construction and Plumbing Services. Total amount of bid, 18,462,976 pesos and 79 centavos. 184,627,976.79. Bid security submitted, bid security declaration, validity period 120 calendar days.
Thank you, Mia. So again, for contract ID 26DG0033, the lowest submitted bid is from SDWC Construction with a submitted bid amount of 18,456,711 pesos and 49 centavos. Again, the lowest submitted bid for 26DG0033 is from SDWC Construction with a total amount of bid of 18,456,711 pesos and 49 centavos. So again, may I remind everyone that these are only preliminary examinations of the bids. All bids submitted will still undergo a detailed bid evaluation and post-qualification by our TWG. Thank you. We now have also the results of the preliminary examination of the financial components or envelope number 2 for contract ID 26DG0034. So for the submitted bids, may I now request the Secretary to please read the results and the corresponding bid amounts. Ms. Para, please.
For 26DG0034, both bidders passed in the preliminary examination of the financial component of the bid. First bidder, House Land Construction. Total amount of bid, 16,002,092 pesos and 32 centavos. 16002,092.32. Bid security submitted, bid security declaration, validity period 120 calendar days. Next bidder, NB Avila Construction and Trading Corporation. Total amount of bid, 16,012,391 pesos and 75 centavos. 16012,391.75. Bid security submitted, bid security declaration, validity period 120 calendar days.
So again, for contract ID 26DG0034, the lowest submitted bid is from Houseland Construction with a total amount of bid of 16,002,092 pesos and 32 centavos. Again, the lowest submitted bid for contract ID 26DG0034 is from Houseland Construction with a total amount of bid of 16,002,092 pesos and 32 centavos. Again, may I remind everyone that these are only preliminary examinations of the bids. All bids submitted will still undergo a detailed bid evaluation and post-qualification by the TWG. Thank you. So, there being no bids to be opened, may I hear confirmation from the Secretariat if all the bid prices and the results of the preliminary examinations have been recorded? Yes, okay. So, again, may I remind everyone that these are only preliminary examinations of the submitted bids. All bids submitted will still undergo a detailed bid evaluation and post-qualification by the TWG to determine the lowest calculated responsive bid, or the LCRB, wherein we will notify the bidders of the results in due course. So again, with no other bids to be opened, we will now proceed with our next agenda. We will now proceed with the pre-bid conference. So may I now request the Secretariat to please do a brief presentation of the, I'm sorry, we have 8 projects to
Yes,
discuss
sir.
for the 8 civil works projects for this pre-bid conference. So again, may I now request the Secretariat to please present a brief presentation of the basic contract data of these 8 civil works projects. Ms. Para, please.
First project, contract ID number 26DG0043, Asset Preservation Program, Construction, Upgrading, Rehabilitation of Drainage along National Roads, Secondary Roads, Juanito R. Remulla Senior Road, Kilometer 56 plus 455 to Kilometer 56 plus 855. For the scope of works, it is a construction of 800 linear meter drainage structure with an approved budget for the contract of 14,409,880 pesos and 47 centavos. Contract duration is 149 calendar days. Pickup license, size range, minimum requirements small b, license category C and D, and the cost of bidding documents of 25,000 pesos. Second project, 26DG0044, Network Development Program, Construction of Bypass and Diversion Roads, Tagaytay Bypass Road, Station 3 plus 705 to Station 3 plus 745, Station 5 plus 630 to Station 5 plus 660. Scope of work is a widening of 2 bridges, 337.20 square meter Patuto Bridge and 299.40 square meter Ginhawa Bridge. Approved budget for the contract is 71,105,439 pesos and 80 centavos. Contract duration is 186 calendar days. Pickup license, size range, minimum requirement medium A, license category B, and the cost of bidding documents of 50,000 pesos. Third project, contract ID number 26DG0045, Asset Preservation Program, Rehabilitation, Reconstruction of Roads with Slip, Slope, Collapse, and Landslide. Tertiary Road, Isaaco, Tolentino Avenue, Kilometer 62 plus 076 to Kilometer 62 plus 146. For the scope of work, it's a construction of 234 square meter slope protection and 0.140 lane kilometer rehabilitation of paved road with an approved budget for the contract of 3,766,827 pesos and 79 centavos. Contract duration is 42 calendar days. Pickup license, size range, minimum requirements small b, license category C and D, and the cost of bidding documents of 5,000 pesos. Fourth project, contract ID number 26DG0046, Network Development Program, Construction of Missing Links, New Roads, General Aguinaldo-Magallanes-Nasugbu Road, East-West Road, Station 1 plus 525 to Station 1 plus 605, Magallanes Section, Cavite. For the scope of work, it is a widening of 923.20 square meter Baliwag Bridge with an approved budget for the contract of 78,826,774 pesos and 62 centavos. Contract duration is 231 calendar days. Pickup license, size range, minimum requirement, medium A, license category B, and the cost of bidding documents of 50,000 pesos. Fifth project, 26DG0047, Network Development Program, Construction of Missing Links, New Roads, General Aguinaldo-Magallanes-Nasugbu Road, East-West Road, Station 5 plus 386 to Station 6 plus 030, Station 6 plus 055 to Station 10 plus 380, Magallanes Section, Cavite. For the scope of work, it is a construction of 4,049 lane meter drainage and 1,995 square meters slope protection with an approved budget for the contract of 139,106,727 pesos and 88 centavos. Contract duration is 675 calendar days. Pickup license, size range, minimum requirement, medium A, license category B, and the cost of bidding documents of 50,000 pesos. For the sixth project, 26DG0048, Network Development Program, Construction of Missing Links, New Road, General Aguinaldo-Magallanes-Nasugbu Road, East-West Road, Station 3 plus 366 to Station 3 plus 391, Station 3 plus 806 to Station 3 plus 836, Station 6 plus 030 to Station 6 plus 055, Magallanes Section, Cavite. For the scope of works, it is a widening of 3 bridges. First bridge is the Kaluwangan Bridge, 248.75 square meter, 288.60 square meter Panagian Bridge, and 241.25 square meter San Agustin Bridge, with an approved budget for the contract of 88,101,041 pesos and 12 centavos. Contract duration is 168 calendar days. Pickup license, size range, minimum requirement, medium A, license category B, and the cost of bidding documents of 50,000 pesos. Seventh project is contract ID number 26DG0049, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gap CPAG, Access Road and/or bridges from the National Road leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, improvement of road at Section 1 and Section 2 at Barangay Galicia 3 to Panungyan 1, Mendez, Cavite. For the scope of work, it is a rehabilitation of 2.548 lane kilometer paved road with an approved budget for the contract of 28,253,803 pesos and 51 centavos. Contract duration is 157 calendar days. Pickup license, size range, minimum requirements, small B, license category C and D, and the cost of bidding documents of 25,000 pesos. Last project, contract ID number 26DG0050, Bridge Program, Retrofitting, Strengthening of Permanent Bridges, Sinalam Bridge along Ternate-Nasugbu Road. For the scope of work, it is a retrofitting, strengthening of Sinalam Bridge of 21.30 meters Sinalam Bridge with an approved budget for the contract of 11,301,346 pesos and 91 centavos. Contract duration is 88 calendar days. Pickup license, size range, minimum requirements, small B, license category C and D, and the cost of bidding documents of 25,000 pesos. Interested bidders may obtain further information from DPWH Cavite 2nd District Engineering Office, Alfonso Cavite, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. upon payment of the applicable fee for bidding documents. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders on July 15 to August 4, 2026. For downloading of bidding documents, you may do so at DPWH website or at PhilJEP's website. For online bid submission, you may email us at electronicbids_cavite2@dpwh.gov.ph. For additional information, contractors should be guided on the Department Order 130 Series of 2016 or the guidelines for the implementation of the provisions of Republic Act No. 6685 and Republic Act No. 9710 or Magna Carta of Women. In accordance with the Department Citizens Charter and a numbered memorandum dated March 6, 2023, the following documents are required prior to sale of bidding documents and submission of bids. First, company ID or any government-issued ID and authorization letter, if not authorized liaison officer in the CWA, special power of attorney per sole proprietorship, board partnership, joint venture resolution with secretary's certificate for corporation, partnership, joint venture, and cooperative.
Thank you, Ms. Pa. So again, the scheduled opening of bids for these 8 projects is on August 4, 2026 after 10 o'clock in the morning. So bids will be open at the conference room, 2nd floor of DPWH Cavite 2nd District Engineering Office in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend, and late bids shall not be accepted. Bidders should submit the following documents. A. Technical component of the bid. Platinum membership, PhilJEP certificate. If not enrolled in the Civil Works Registry or CWR, PICAB license and registration. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. Single largest completed contract or the SLCC. net financing contracting capacity or the NFCC, computation and statement of total assets and total liabilities, joint venture agreement if applicable. If already enrolled in the CWR, eligibility documents to be updated: bid security, project requirements, project organizational chart, list of contractors, key personnel, list of major equipment, and omnibus warrant statement. B. Financial components of the bid form, bid prices in the form of bill of quantities, summary of bids, detailed estimates, and cash flow. These are also available for download on the PhilJEPS and DPWH website. Additional requirements: sworn statement of eligibility and beneficial ownership in accordance with Section 82 of the implementing rules and regulations of RA 12009 and instructions to bidders clause 4.3. For bid evaluation criteria, the contract shall be awarded to the bidder who submitted the lowest calculated responsive bid or the LCRB. The DPWH Cavite 2nd District Engineering Office in Alfonso, Cavite reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of the IRR of RA 12009 without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. Prospective bidders should also be advised on the full implementation and assigning only qualified and competent project engineers of the contractors and consultants in implementation of DPWH projects stated on Department Order Number 227 Series of 2024 or the guidelines on the accreditation and assignment of contractors and consultants project engineers. As per DEO number 169 Series of 2025, only accredited project engineers may be assigned to DPWH projects subject to the following limits of assignments. Project Engineer 2, 10 contracts located within the same region, simultaneous assignments, but with an aggregate cost of not more than 1.5 billion pesos. Project Engineer 1, 10 contracts located within the same region, simultaneous assignments, each costing not more than 150 million pesos, but with an aggregate cost of not more than 1 billion pesos. Provisional Project Engineer, 10 contracts located within the same region, simultaneous assignments, each costing not more than 100 million pesos, but with an aggregate cost of not more than 500 million pesos. As per DPWH DO number 55 Series of 2012, the DPWH accredited materials engineers may be assigned to DPWH projects subject to the following limits. Materials Engineer 2, 1 project, no cost limit, or 2 projects located within the same province with an aggregate cost of not more than 100 million pesos. Materials Engineer 1, 1 project costing not more than 100 million, or 3 projects located within the same province with an aggregate cost of not more than 20 million pesos. So with that, are there any comments, recommendations, or additional information from the members of the BAC? From the Secretariat? From the TWG? Are there any comments online? None? So with that, again, may I remind everyone that the opening of bids for these 8 projects will be on August 4, 2026 after 10 o'clock in the morning. So with that, with no other issues or agenda at hand, I now declare this meeting of the DPWH Cavite 2nd District Engineering Office Bids and Award Committee adjourned. Thank you everyone and good day. The time now is exactly 11:55 in the morning. Thank you and God bless.